Well, here we go. It's another Sunday live with material issues. We're almost at mid-July. Can you believe that? And most of the World Cup games are behind us. I'm Mark Hershberger of Pop Detective Records. I'm over here in a beautiful non-heat wave for the first time in a while, South Jersey. And joining me as always from sunny Southern California, he's got the Beach Boys shirt on tonight, representing the Beach Boys, which we had a great interview last weekend with David Beard. But hey, David Bash, another DB, president of the International Pop Overthrow Festival, he's joining us live as usual. How you doing, David?
I need to pull this out too.
Oh well, yeah. Don't make sure you get your bling.
Bling, yeah.
Your bling-ing.
I am so disoriented when I do it through when I'm backwards. I can't even. Okay, hold on. Come on, you. I just got this shirt today, so
nice.
It's my first time trying it on. It came in the mail. I'm doing okay, Mark. It's pretty cloudy today, kind of muggy. Not your usual Southern California weather, but we are in for some hot days this week. When I say hot, I mean high 90s, low hundreds. Hopefully the humidity will drop. It usually does here when it gets that hot, but we'll see. I'm glad you mentioned soccer because that sort of dovetails with one of the things I was going to bring up a little bit later. But right now, I wanted to start by trying a new flavor of soda. Rena and I went shopping yesterday and happened to see this over at the supermarket. Unfortunately, there weren't any isolated cans or bottles, so I had to buy a 12. So if it sucks, I wasted $10. But it's Pepsi Zero Sugar Wild Cherry and Cream.
Wild cherry and cream.
Yeah, I've never tried that flavor before, so I've never seen it before, I should say.
Well, that would be an interesting band if they put that together. Wild cherry and cream. It'd be like bum.
Play that funky music, White Room.
White Room, yes.
Yeah, I'm here all week.
He's here all week. Play that funky music, White Room. So, what's it going to try?
Let's try this and see what we got.
Well.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad?
No, not much of an aftertaste. Nice combination. It's very smooth. I thought it would be a little harsher, but it's not.
So cherry and cream. Is it like cream soda with a little cherry edge to it?
Trying to see what it's more of. Seems like it's an equal measure.
Yeah, nice, very good. When are they coming out? When are they coming out with the ketchup soda?
I will not be trying that.
Oh, goodness gracious!
Got a new watch, and this one means a lot to me because it's one that I actually had as a kid. I called it at the time the Seiko 5, but it's really a Seiko Speed Timer Pogue version. So it's got this really cool sort of burnt yellow dial,
right,
and it's got a nice tachymeter bezel. It's a chronograph. This is the best looking one I saw on eBay by far, and it was reasonably priced. So as I look at it now, I'm wondering if there might be some funny stuff going on with it. I don't know, but and frankly, I don't really care except for one thing. I brought it to my watch guy because I needed to have the band adjusted, and he put it on the timer, and it's about 2 minutes off per day. So he said, he looked in it. And he said, "Oh my God, this is the dirtiest movement I have ever seen."
Really?
He said, "This thing has not been serviced. It needs a cleaning, and it's going to cost a lot to clean this because it's so messed up." He said, "I can't even guarantee that it's going to help with the time." But he did say that if it didn't help, he wouldn't charge me. So I'm going to pay the money and hope that it works. If it doesn't, then I'll just have to deal with it being 2 minutes off a day, which is not, I don't wear any watch for that many days in a row anyway. So
right.
If I wear this one and have to reset it a couple of times, all right, I'll live with it. But only because it looks so good. And if you go on eBay, you see some of the other ones. They look like they're 50 something years old.
Yeah.
Because I had mine in 1973, and I don't know whatever happened to it. Probably just stopped working or whatever.
Well, you know, if it's off to only 2 minutes a day, but say you only wear it for 8 hours, that's only a third of a day. So you're only going to be off by 50 seconds.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
Good way to look. Well, we're going to give it a shot and see what happens. Tell me. So you mentioned something about finding a new record store, which is very.
Oh,
exciting.
yeah. I never knew this was there. So I go, Haddon Heights is downtown Station Avenue, Haddon Heights, about a mile away. And who's here? Tim just showed up. Hey, Tim.
Hey, Tim, great to see you too.
It's about a mile away from my house. I rode my scooter down because I had to go to the post office, and then I swung around because they've got a little Cabana water ice soft ice cream place. I figured I'm going to get a little frozen yogurt is what I wanted. So I'm standing out in front of this place. I look across the street, and there's this giant banner that said "Vintage Vinyl," right? And I went, "What the heck is this?" So I crossed over the street, and it's a vinyl record store, but without this big banner that he hung up. The wording is so small on the little glass, and you don't really see through the glass that it's records. It says Doc's Finds Records. And that's probably why I never noticed it, because I don't look at that storefront. Couldn't tell there was. So I go in this place, and here's what was really cool. Loaded with vinyl. All vinyl. It's fantastic. There were about 5 kids in there. When I say kids, they were probably in the 18, 19-year-old range, and they were going through all the vinyl. And it was so cool because they were pulling out stuff going, "Oh, dude, this is one of the best things I've ever heard. You need to buy this, dude," to the other dudes that was there. And it was, I think it was Cream's Disraeli Gears or something.
Wow.
And I know. And they were like, "Oh, look, dude, they got ELOs out of the blue here. Oh, ELO." And they were all going, "Wow, I don't have enough money to get that. Son of a gun. I have to come back." And I was,
boy, that's familiar when you're 18.
Oh my gosh. And I'm listening to the conversation as I'm just going through stuff. And it was just so refreshing to hear that conversation, how excited they were about vinyl. So I went to they had a whole section.
Oh, by the way, I didn't see this. Nice shirt also.
Oh, yeah. The International Pop Overthrow Liverpool shirt. Representing.
I still have a few. Left. Rena and I took some home. Probably advertise on Facebook that I have a few left for sale if people want them.
Yeah. Contact David through his Facebook page if you want to International Pop Over, because it's got all the band's names on the back, and
it's a really cool shirt. Steve Stanley, as always, did a great design. We have some black that, like Mark is wearing. We also have some light blue, which are the color of the letters on that shirt. Yeah. I don't remember what sizes we have, but if you're interested, send me some kind of message either through Facebook or even here if you want, and I'll let you know what sizes we have and how much it's going for, and shipping, which is not a lot for something like that.
No, that's great. It's a great shirt. You'll love it. Yeah, I love it.
Anyway, go ahead. I didn't mean to.
No worries. So I'm looking through this. They have like a psych. He even labeled it as psych pop section. Tons of stuff. And I'm just peeling through going, "Oh my God, oh my God." And some of these bands I'm not familiar with. So I just started picking stuff up, and I've been listening to them for the last 48 hours. But I got this one. This is on Rare Earth Records. It's a 1971 white label promo, Magic.
Oh, wow. I used to see that one around, but I've never heard it.
A white label promo.
Wow.
And
it's on Rare Earth?
It's on Rare Earth, yeah.
Wow.
So outstanding condition, fantastic condition. So I picked it up, listened to that. It's as it is, psych pop, folk pop, really good stuff. And then
wow,
really good. Then I got this one on Flick Disc.
I know what it is.
What is it?
It's got to be the American Revolution.
You got it. The American
I
Revolution.
love that album.
Look at that.
That album's great.
Also in pristine condition.
Yeah, Prelude to Love and Show Me How to Cry. Those are my two favorite songs on that.
Look at my music savant here, who's giving me the tracks. And I never heard this before, and it's really good.
It's excellent. Yeah.
Good. I used to have this one long ago, and I don't know where it ever went in my collection early on when I was young, but I found it. Right there 2 days ago.
Oh yeah.
1968. Just dropped in to see what condition my condition was in. Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers in the first edition. People don't realize how good that band was. They think of Kenny Rogers, of course, as a country artist, and he did become that. But prior to that, they were doing. It did have a country flavor to it, but it had also psychedelic flavor, and they were great.
And I always thought Thelma was pretty darn hot too.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. She always caught my attention when they were on the variety shows,
Yeah, I do not know why those albums have never been reissued on CD. It seems like a no-brainer. I would have thought Warner Brothers in Japan would have done them years ago.
Right.
But nobody has. I have to figure that Kenny Rogers owns the rights to them. And I know he's gone, but now his estate owns the rights. And he probably just didn't want them out. Because I can't imagine Warner Brothers would. I mean, they know they're going to sell enough to recoup
easily
the expenses on that very clearly. I mean, they had big hits. I mean, obviously, Just Dropped In, Ruby, Don't Take Your Love to Town, and Tell It All, Brother was a really great song. Something's Burning.
I love that song.
From 1970. They had a lot of really, they had hits. Those albums did fine on the charts.
Oh man. Yeah. So I was happily surprised to see this in really great shape as well. The vinyl's pristine. You're not getting any of the ring wear you see from a lot of these old albums.
Really those albums go for surprisingly very little.
It's crazy.
I mean, I know they made a hell of a lot of them, but still, it's the whole thing. I should talk to somebody at Warner's who would know, but I got to think this is a Kenny Rogers decision. It can't be a label decision.
Yeah. And then probably the favorite thing I found I've no idea anything about this band, but I got home and listened to it and really loved it. A band called Formerly Fat Harry.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
It says 1972, but it's actually 1971, and it's got a very psych folk sound to it.
Wow, I don't think I've ever even seen that, or maybe I have. What label is that on?
It's on EMI, Capital EMI, and evidently the one guy, Bruce Bartle, was in Country Joe and the Fish, and then left them and formed Formerly Fat Harry.
Wow, I'm trying to remember if I've even seen that, but well, how is it?
It's fantastic. It's exactly as the little. There's nothing really in the back of it that would tell you anything about it, but it was. I think I didn't make a note here, but yeah, it's very like folk. It's like folk rock with psychedelic tinge to it with some orchestration. It's really good. It's
were these albums reasonably priced?
Not bad. This was probably the most expensive one that I got, and looking on Discogs, I probably still got it for a good amount. This one was $22,
right? And
Discogs lists it for around $45 on median price. So
wow,
that's not bad. But that I was interested. I was reading about the American Revolution album, and evidently it was produced by this Harvey Hatcher, the guy who was in the military station with Elvis Presley.
Oh, wow.
Played in a couple pickup bands overseas with Elvis, and he produced this American Revolution.
Trying to remember where the band was from.
They're an LA band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're an LA band.
You know what? I think we need to find somebody in that band and get them on the show.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
Does it list the members' names?
Yes. We've got Eddie Haddad.
That may not be hard to find.
Who else do we got on here? Richard Barcelona.
Okay.
Daniel Durda.
All right, no Joe Smiths, so
and John Keith.
That'll be a little harder, maybe, but
yeah, no.
As long as we can find one of them, and they're hopefully still around.
I mean, it's such a look at the band pictures right there.
Oh, no doubt. I remember I found that album in New York for $1 at back in the 70s.
Yeah,
at some record store that were selling a lot of Sunshine Pop for $1 at that time because nobody really cared. And I mean, I looked at the cover and I said, I don't even need to hear this for $1. I'm taking a chance.
Well, that's what I was doing, man. And believe me, those are 4 albums that I bought. I had like 12 albums in my hands as I was going through, and like I put like 8 back that were all pretty much unknown to me. So.
I'd love to know what you put back, but what I want to say, is that a stereo copy?
The American Revolution? I thought it was mono.
Oh.
No, it's stereo. It's stereo.
I don't know if you were listening to it with headphones. You really should. Did you notice the separation on some of those songs? It's insane. Everything's in either the left or right channel. There's nothing in the middle. Now
that you said that, it's absolutely correct. That's what I remember. Yeah, it was stereo, and it was very much right or left. Yeah.
Some producers did it that way back then, and some people love it and some people hate it. I think it's very cool. I've always liked that mix because there's so much definition in the instruments. But, a lot of people don't like it because it sounds, like, where's the middle?
Right.
There's like very little there. So I get both sides of it, but I'm a big fan of that kind of mix.
Oh yeah, it's oh good. Oh, there we go. Love the first edition, but I Love You is my favorite. Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you, YT Music. All right. No, so it's a really cool record shop. So if you're in this general area, Haddon Heights, Doc's Finds Records on Station Avenue in Haddon Heights. Shout out to that place if you're a vinyl collector. It's, there's CDs and things in there, but it's primarily a vinyl shop, and he's got.
Yeah, I'm thinking, if you're going to be around, when I'm back east for IPO, I was thinking of coming down anyway, but now I have added incentive.
There you go.
Unless you grab every good record in there.
I might be back on Monday.
Before we get into anything else, let's talk about the game coming up, because if we're going to get somebody to join us, we got to do it now.
Yeah. If you want to play, we do Stump the Bash, Beat the Bash. Many times we can do it with people texting in and whatnot. I've got a brand new thing I put together tonight. I call it JeoPOPardy, like Jeopardy, but it's pop in the middle. But if you want to play, you gotta send me an email at popdetective@gmail.com and give me your email address so I can send you a StreamYard link. You got to be in the room with us, and I need
you got to come on live.
Come on live.
And here's the thing: we need you because we can't do it with just me.
Yeah, can't do it just David. So one other person would be great. 2 other people would be ideal. It'd make it like actual Jeopardy, but.
Well, it won't actually be like actual Jeopardy because, we'll explain that later. It'll be close, but in this case, you get your own you get to choose your own category.
Yeah. So be a part of the grand experiment tonight is what I'm calling it. The grand
so
experiment.
hopefully someone contacts Mark and says they're willing to be on live.
Yeah.
Because I need an opponent.
David needs an opponent,
or more than one.
And I'll tell you what. And if you agree to play this Jeopardy style game, we'll even let you go first in order to try to pick some of the easier questions and get a leg up on David. Because once David starts, he might not get anything wrong. So you know how.
Wait a minute! I just thought of something. Why can't I hope somebody comes and plays, but why can't I play it? And do it like Stump the Bash, where I just play it alone.
You could. We could do that, and we'll just see how. I wouldn't know how many points would actually be stumping you, but
we'll just figure out what I got. If we do it that way, we'll see what I get, and we'll just determine whether or not you can determine whether or not you think I was stumped. Yeah. And I'll probably agree because I hold myself to a high standard.
Well, so I'll tell you what, if you're in the positive as far as points, you're not stumped. If you end up in the negatives, then you're stumped.
Well, I probably won't. Oh, so it's going to be, if I play alone, it'll be where I have to guess.
Yes.
So that way, I mean, if I get it wrong, I'm going to lose.
Well, just like actual Jeopardy, if you pick a category for 300 points and you go, I don't know, and you don't place a guess, you lose 300 points.
No, you don't. You only lose 300 points in real Jeopardy if you get it wrong.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. So like if you don't get it right, if you don't
get no points, but if I don't guess on the ones I don't know, I'm not going to be in the negative. So we have to do it. If I play alone, we have to do it where I have to give an answer.
All right. See, we're going to figure this out one way or another.
Yeah. That's all good. All right, but hopefully somebody agrees to play. So but that'll be in a while. We still have a few things to talk about, and then I got a bunch of new music to play.
Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier about soccer. Obviously it's creating quite a stir in the U.S., and this is the first time the World Cup has created this kind of stir. And in fact, as I read recently, and we may have brought this up on an earlier show, I don't know, but soccer has now supplanted baseball as the number 3 most watched sport in the United States.
Yeah.
Can you imagine baseball? Football is way ahead. Football is number 1 by far. Basketball is number 2. And it's also way ahead of number 3, which is now soccer. Baseball is not that far behind from soccer, but it does bring up something that we've talked about before. Baseball is losing popularity. There's no doubt about it. When we were growing up, baseball was easily the number 1 most watched sport, both live and on TV. It's not that way anymore, and it really hasn't been for a while, but it was always number 3, and now suddenly soccer has supplanted it. We could talk about why soccer has supplanted it, but I'm more interested in why baseball is dropping in popularity. And the reason is it's just not cool to the hip hop generation. They don't like it. And you could say it's slow, but so is soccer. But the hip hop generation's not really watching soccer. It's mostly immigrants from different countries who have come into the States, especially Mexico. We have a lot of Mexican immigrants are watching soccer more than ever, but it's also people from other countries where soccer means a hell of a lot. Which is interesting,
though, because in Mexico, baseball is hugely popular. In Cuba, in a lot of the South American countries, baseball is hugely popular. And it's funny when you talk about the younger hip hop generation and whatnot, in soccer, they're not allowed to wear diamond earrings, bling, or anything when they're playing. Right. But in baseball now, they allow them to have huge gold necklaces on and diamond earrings and all kinds of bling on top of their uniform, which I think is absolutely stupid. I think it's just dumb looking, and nobody cares, because if the hip hop generation did care, they'd be like, "Oh man, look at he's all blinged out."
But here's the problem. Well, first of all, let me say this is one place where on some level, I do agree with you that it looks stupid, but I'm an old white guy. Life is passing us by, and it should. We're old white guys. This is not things that were sacred to us, no longer. It's for the kids now. So if everyone wants to wear bling up their ass when they're playing, I'm okay with it. Anything to get more people interested in baseball, as long as the game itself doesn't get polluted. And again, there are certain rules like the ghost runner, but that's another matter.
Yeah, but it is getting polluted, and it will continue to get polluted. I think the best thing for them is to drop it to 7 innings. Then you might have complete game pitches again. I still say juice the bats. Let them have aluminum bats, and if that
Oh
means
God, people will die.
if that means the pitchers and the infielders have to wear helmets in the field, fine, because then you're going to get scores of 21, 18, and 17 in 7 innings because everybody's going to be blasting it out of not only the park, they'll be blasting it out of the stadium, right? So. Yeah. You know, and make the ball fluorescent orange or yellow. So it's, you know,
Charlie Finley had that idea in the 70s.
Right.
He wanted the orange baseball.
You've seen the banana ball, right? You've seen the banana ball guys. Make it like these guys. You know, they're just all blinged out and crazy and doing all the goofy, humorous shit, walking up to the plate on stilts. Go ahead, make it. If you want the young people to get
I detect just a hint of sarcasm here, but
it just. You know.
But here's the thing. One of the reasons why baseball is uncool to the hip hop generation, and this is not just black kids, but white kids as well, is that there aren't that many African Americans playing. It's 7% African American. Now, granted, there are a decent amount of Latin American guys, and some of them wear bling too, but they're not Latin American, Latin guys, I should say, but they're not American. They are Latin. The hip hop, the percentage of African Americans is only 7%. And people are saying, well, it's trending upward. Yeah, right. 2 years ago, it was 6.2. Last year was 6.4. Now it's 6.8. Okay, that could be just random. I want to see if it's trending upward. I want to see 9, 10, 11%. But you know, it's just not a sport that African American kids aspire to play anymore, and it really should be. And the main reason is, if you're an African American kid and you want to play basketball, I get it, but you better grow to 6'4" at least. Otherwise, you're not playing. You know, I mean, even there are guys under 6'4", but not your chances are virtually zero. So if you want to be a pro, I mean, if you want to make a living at playing basketball, you better grow. And since most kids aren't going to grow that tall, they're out. And then you got football. If you want to play NFL football, you're going to have to be really strong, and you're probably going to have to be really big, except for certain positions. There will always be room for, you know, very lithe, fast cornerbacks. There'll always be room for lithe, fast receivers. Running backs, you're going to have to be bigger. You're going to really have a lot of muscle mass to play running back, you know, especially in your legs. So the chances, unless you're a really big guy, the chances of you playing NFL football aren't that good either. Baseball is the only game left where you can be just about any size and succeed. So I mean, the fact that African American kids aren't aspiring to play baseball is really a shame, because that's their best chance for success. But it's not happening.
I just don't understand if the argument is baseball is boring, how soccer's passing up, because I think soccer is infinitely more boring than baseball. I mean, nothing happens for sometimes 7/8 of the game. There's no score. There's nothing, you know.
But here's what soccer does provide that most of the other sports don't. It provides a buildup of tension, and that's what people who love soccer are looking for. When the ball is heading down towards the opponent's goal, the tension really builds, and the crowd starts getting really excited. And there are, you know, 100,000 people at these games. So it's very easy for fans to kind of glom onto that. So if they're watching it on TV and they're hearing these crowds going nuts because the ball is finally getting in a place where maybe they could score, or if there's a corner kick coming up, which is another way where goals get scored, the tension builds, the crowd starts cheering, they start chanting for their favorite team. I think a lot of kids are really into that. I think that's one of the reasons they're watching. And I think that's one of the reasons why in other countries the sport has really caught on. There might be something about the upbringing of people in other countries that lends itself to being attracted to that. While in America, that's not the case. But again, it's starting to happen. They are now number 3, and the World Cup is feeding into that very strongly.
And I did not grow up, even though I grew up an hour and 15 minutes outside of Philadelphia. Didn't grow up a hockey fan, because where I lived, it wasn't. No high schools had hockey, the program, and you knew about the Flyers and the Broad Street Bullies, but I didn't grow up a hockey fan. So if I saw it on TV, I was bored out of my mind. But then the first time I went and saw a live hockey game, it blew me away how exciting it was live. Now, same thing with soccer. My high school was not good in soccer. Our competing high school right next to us, I think the year after I graduated, they were number 1 in the country in soccer.
Wow.
They were good, but I didn't enjoy soccer. Then I went to see with Bruce Brodeen, our first trip to Liverpool, an IPO at the Cavern. Bruce and I went out and saw Liverpool versus Everton at Anfield. And that changed. I mean, I loved being there live. It was incredible. I still can't transition to watching it on TV. For me, it's a yawn fest. And then, of course, as soon as I try to get into it and go, all right, I see what they're doing, then you got the flopping going on and the faking of an injury, and acting like their gallbladder was just torn out, and the instant replay shows they weren't even touched. That for me, that really slows the game down, and it takes away a lot.
Right.
And I can't get past that. I just can't get past it.
No, I mean,
I'm trying. But
no, I mean, to each his own or her own. But
it really is.
But the fact is, it's now number 3 and climbing. I don't know if it'll surpass basketball. That's a lot to ask. But it is going to separate from baseball as baseball continues to drop. Mm-hmm. The hip hop generation is not about tradition. It's about now. And it's so we need more hip hop type people in baseball to attract that crowd. So anyway, this leads to an article I read about the fact that there was a dearth of African Americans in baseball, and what some of the current African American players are trying to do, or what they're trying to do to get the kids attracted to the game, get them to want to pursue it. And one of the guys is a pitcher on the Reds named Hunter Green. Yeah. And I'm bringing this quote up not so much to talk about his efforts, which are very noble, no doubt about it, but the way he phrased it is something that I'd never seen before. And I'm wondering, is this part of the new kids hip hop lingo, or even non-hip hop, just kids lingo? Put this up there. Now, notice this first. He was asked why he's, trying to get black kids interested in baseball. My why is being able to grow the numbers of African-American players within our sport. My why. What the fuck is that? And then on the bottom, look at this. But it's clear as day. I'm 10 toes down in my why. I've seen my impact in real time. 10 toes down. I assume that means he's all into it. I don't know. I have never heard that phrasing like either of those sentences. And I'm wondering if this is just common lingo. I don't know if it's among the hip hop generation or just kids in general. If anybody listening has kids, let me know if their kids talk like that, because I imagine your daughters don't speak that way, but they're not kids anymore. They're,
and they were never into any kind of hip hop or rap at all. They were adamantly opposed to, their eardrums were adamantly opposed to it, which is their own choice. I didn't influence their choice whatsoever. Matter of fact, my youngest, Leah, she loves country music. I'm not a country music fan, at all.
Right.
And she really enjoys it, which is her own thing.
Okay. Well, that's, they're too old to, that's not the group I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But let's look at the logical conclusion of this. If you're going to talk about my why, you then have to talk about things like my when, my where, my how. I mean, why not? They're both. I forgot what I forgot what type of word that is in the English language, but you're turning something that's not a noun into a noun, basically. How about this? If next time somebody asks you when Material Issues is on, tell them my when is Sunday. It's at 8:00 Eastern. That's what you got to do. How about this? How about this one? You're in court. You're being charged with something. And the judge says, how do you plead? And you say, Your Honor, my how is not guilty, but I'm only 8 toes into that. I mean, is this what we're going to get?
I'm still trying to understand and wrap my head around why everybody now in the corporate world has to have their email signature as their name, and then her, he, she.
Really?
Yeah, they always have to follow it with their pronouns, and you see that in the corporate world now. And I don't even know, like, why people do that.
You mean your why has no idea?
I'm only like 2 toes down on why this is
on your why. On your why they do that. Yeah.
And my how is not understanding my why.
Oh my God. I'm not criticizing. If this is what it's becoming, then fine. It's okay. Again, the world is for the kids. It's not for us. We're not
criticizing it. We're 2 old guys trying to understand it, and we don't understand it. And
I think I get it. Just gleaning it from context. I'm not 100% sure on the 10 toes down. I don't know if that means that he's completely into it or that he's completely sure that it's working. But
wait, we got Tim checking in with his toes. Hold on. Every damn habit.
Right. Well, yeah, I get that too, believe me. But no, and again, I don't criticize any of this. I've long said on this program and otherwise that the world is for the kids. It always was. When we were kids, it was for us. And now that we're not, it's for the kids of present day. I kind of want to understand why people say the things they do, but sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But again, as long as it's not hurting anyone, that's okay.
Yeah.
No, but I don't think I don't think I'm ever going to say things like I'm like before I mention what I said.
Yeah.
Everyone does that now. But even older people are doing it, and I'm wondering, like, what the hell?
What's the other thing that drives me crazy when they interview athletes, mostly athletes, but pop culture, celebrity, whatever, and they ask them a question, and the first thing that comes out of their mouth is, "Well, you know what I mean," and they haven't said anything yet, but they're saying, "You know what I mean." And I yell at the TV all the time. No, I don't know what you mean. You haven't fucking said anything yet. How am I
haven't heard that one yet.
Know what I mean? Like, I picked up my bat and I walked up to the plate. Know what I mean? And the ball, you don't know what I mean? The ball came in.
Okay.
It's like, knock it off with this know what I mean shit. I have no idea what you mean if you haven't said anything yet.
I guess the idea of the kids is you don't really have to know what it means yet. It just means listen, I guess.
Or
it means I'm going to tell you.
Or the other thing that drives me a little crazy is when a young person is asked a question in an interview. And again, I'm not criticizing, but it's like, why do this? They start off with so, and so is always the first word.
That's not just young people. I've seen people my age do that.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I've never said it in my life as the beginning of answering a question. So,
I have to admit, I have started posts with that word. I don't answer questions that way generally if they're asked to me in real time. I may have done it once or twice, but I mean, I think so is kind of has become a substitute for or it's a time holder so that people can organize their thoughts. Because you're asking them a question, especially if it's in an interview, And there's generally there are time constraints in interviews. Not on this show, but in most shows there are. And so you're asked a question, you got to answer it fairly quickly, and you don't have your thoughts organized. So you want to come up with some kind of placeholder. I think the so is used for that reason. That's just my guess.
Well, I just said, right there, but it was in a different context.
Right.
And you said, in this previous paragraph, you were just,
I'm guilty of that.
But you don't do it a lot. Neither of us do it a lot. And I hear people at work when I'm in conference calls and things, staff meetings, and they're asked to talk about what they're working on, and they go, well, yesterday I was down in the third floor, and what we did was we got the wire.
It's again a placeholder. It's a time. It's a stalling tactic, basically.
It is, and I apologize for being that way. It's just the way I am. It's my DNA. I can't. It's like if you can't think it through and you're not prepared, shut up.
Well, if this is a staff meeting,
yeah,
they should be ready for anything. If it's an interview, you don't know what you're going to get. But if it's a staff meeting and you've done your research.
I guess it's a nervous tick too.
It's a nervous tick, yeah. If you've done your research and you know what you're gonna be asked, you should be able to answer it without having to use any kind of stalling phrase. But I think today's younger people they're just slow-witted. What can I tell you?
I knew we'd get to it sooner or later. They're slow and dumb-witted.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you could use the term, if you're talking about like our generation, if we're talking about Sanford and Son, and we say, well, he walks into the room and when his son would walk in, that's using it in a term like everybody that knows about the show.
Right.
What happens. Yeah. And so, but I'm not using it as a stall tactic. It's like, oh, I love Sanford and Son, and the episode that it's just like a thinking.
I had an English teacher in high school who would fine us like a dime if you said or I forgot what the other one was, and you'd be fined $1 if you cursed. I don't remember if we agreed with it or we had no choice, but one semester it was. If you get through the entire semester without saying any of those words, you're going to get your grade on your paper there'll be an extra plus added. So if you were going to get a B, it was now a B plus. A would become an A plus. But anyway, I just did see, I would have been. I had gone through the entire semester without using any of those words, and she knew it. And on the last day of the semester, she called on me purposely. And I knew why she did that, but I was way too defensive and I slipped. I shouldn't have thought of it. I should have just said what I was going to say, but she had me on my heels and I slipped. And I really wish I could have just said after that, oh, fuck. I would have curried favor with so many kids in the class had I done that. I would have gone from a nerd to cool like that.
Right.
But again, what's the line? If fans or buts were coffee and nuts or whatever.
Yeah.
So didn't do it. All right. We should probably play some music if that's okay.
Yeah, let's play some music. It's
really what we're here for.
We've talked for 45 minutes on just random shit, and now we might as well hear some stuff. It's all good.
Yeah, hopefully people were mildly entertained at least. Now I'm going to be self-conscious about it. All right, so the first act that I want to play is a band from Glasgow called Brontes, and it's 4 women, and it's pretty cool stuff. But part of the reason I'm playing it is because it's on the label Last Night from Glasgow. And when Rena and I were at were at their shop. The woman who was running it was so good to us. I bought a few test pressings of, I'm kind of trying to remember what. I know Marco Rossi, Trash Can Sinatras, and one other thing. And because I bought those test pressings, she was so nice. She ended up, Rena had 7 CDs she was going to buy. She ended up giving them to her. And she also threw in a couple for me. And one of them was this band Brontes. And pretty cool stuff. I want to play a track from their self-titled album.
This is wouldn't be me, right? I'm gonna make sure I get the now playing banner here so everybody knows that it's they're just called Brontes.
Brontes with the umlaut. No, is that it? What's the double dot? That's not an umlaut.
No, it's not an umlaut. What are double dots called? I have no idea.
I don't remember, but it's over the E. And I guess to signify that it's an E, that it's an A sound rather than, it's not Brontes or Brontes, it's Brontes.
Brontes.
And the song is called "Wouldn't Be Me" here on Material Issues. That was Brontes from Glasgow, and a track called "Wouldn't Be Me" from their self-titled album on Last Night in Glasgow, or Last Night from Glasgow. Sorry, and I want to give big thanks to Ashley from the label, from the store, who was so good to Rena and me when we were there, and also Rena wanted me to give a shout out to their dog Iona, who was very cute.
Right.
When I wanted the test pressings, Ashley had to take me into their office next door, actually across the way. So Rena had to watch the store and Iona. So
Very nice.
She didn't mind. Anyway, I'm hoping next year for IPO Glasgow to do a Last Night from Glasgow night. That would be awesome. They have some really cool bands on that label. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But
yeah, dig that sound. That was a real nice. Kind of fresh.
Yeah, kind of had a. I don't know. I'm trying to think of which '90s group they reminded me of, but it was very cool. Yeah. So hopefully we'll get them. We'll see what happens. We have a while to worry about that. Next up, and actually this was going to be first up, but it wasn't in the pile of CDs I have here because it's not on CD. It's only on vinyl. Brand new album by a cool band from Salt Lake City. Not a place you figure you're going to find a lot of pop, but this band is from there. They're called the Melons, and this is their brand new album. I believe it's their second one. It's called The Melons in Color, and it's filled with all kinds of really cool soft pop sounds. Soft pop, sunshine pop. Again, only on vinyl. Just came out. It's called The Melons in Color. And the vinyl, appropriately enough,
it's a cool album cover too.
It's in color. Yeah, very cool album cover. The vinyl is orange. Trying to. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And actually haven't taken the shrink completely off, so I haven't seen the. Now let's take it off now. For the first time, let's see what the inner looks like on it. Well, not bad. Nice photo of the band, the lyrics.
It's nice. Yeah. Nice.
I also like the old-fashioned stereo symbol on the cover. Anyway, really good album, and here's a track from it, and which is the one I'm going to play. Okay, Tell Me Why. Here on Material Issues.
Tell me why you were so afraid. Tell me why we would play that game. Oh, you talk too much. How it was our grudge. Tell me why you were so abused. Tell
really cool track by the Melons out of Salt Lake City off of their brand new album called In Color. And where's Mark? Oh, okay.
No, I'm just
great track called Tell Me Why. What did you think of that one?
no. It was very cool. That's very very late '60s sunshiny pop
Yeah.
kind of stuff, and we of course we love that.
We love that, and the album is filled with that. I can't say every song is in that style or every song is quite that good, but a lot of them are. I would highly recommend the album. I wish it was on CD. And now this is something that I have to, when bands put out vinyl like this, it's very expensive. But most of their fans aren't going to be big record collectors who have to have every album that they hear. So every now, once in a while, if you spend $25, $30 on vinyl, it's not a big deal. But for people like us, if bands are only putting out vinyl, it becomes kind of an issue with our wallets. I mean,
Sure.
there's another band who I really like, and I haven't really tried to get promo vinyl from their label, and I really don't like to even ask because vinyl's expensive. I understand that. I don't mind asking for a promo CD, but vinyl I'd rather not unless I really if I really love the album, I'm apt to buy it if it's on vinyl. But when you're buying a whole bunch of stuff and there's an album that you like, you're not like head over heels with, but you'd like to own it, and the only way you can get it is to spend $30 on the vinyl, you're kind of left with no choice. I guess I'm not owning this.
Right,
I guess I'm just going to have to stream it. That's it. And that doesn't do the artist any good. So, I mean, I always talk about physical product, and I always say vinyl, whatever it is. And yeah, I do buy my share of vinyl, and so do other people. But after a while, it gets to the point where I just can't afford all this vinyl. Not if I have to own everything I like. So, hoping that, and I know some other people may feel the same way, even in general. Like, I just can't spend $30 on an album. I can't do it. It's just so much, especially older people who are used to paying, $5 when we were kids. So I hope for the Melon's sake, they decide to do a CD on this one. My guess is they would sell a hell of a lot more. But I really, what I'd heard online, I really loved. So I shelled out for the vinyl. But yeah, sometimes there are other bands where I just can't do it. It's just, I like the album, I'd like to own it, but I can't spend $30 on everything.
Right.
So unfortunately, I have to pick and choose. But the rest of the stuff I'll be playing today has come out on CD, and I think in some cases only CD. One of which is this band from Boston called Hotel Saturn, who I really like. They ended up coming out to LA to play IPO last year, and then they played in their hometown as well in November. But they have a brand new album, self-titled. Shel Pierce is the main songwriter. There's also Todd Erickson in the band. They're really cool, and they've got a nice sort of psychedelic pop sound. They had a track on last year's IPO CD. I'm not going to play that one, but I will play another track from the album called Love Me for the Things, whatever the things are, here on Material Issues.
Love me for the words that go unspoken. Love me for the things I cannot say. Love me for today, it's just a shadow.
That was Hotel Saturn from Boston with Love Me for the Things from their brand new self-titled album. Really great band. Hopefully they'll play IPO in Boston. I'm going to be inviting bands to that in about a week. That'll take place in November.
Yeah.
I actually had to switch places, switch dates, I should say. IPO Toronto and Boston. I had scheduled IPO Toronto for a weekend around November 20th, and then I found out that Sloan decided to do a 30th anniversary show for their album On Chord to Another on one of the IPO dates. And then that sold out in about 2 minutes. So they decided to schedule yet another one on another IPO date the next day. So I said, this is not going to work. IPO cannot go up against Sloan. So fortunately, I was able to flip-flop the dates for Toronto and Boston. No harm, no foul. But that would have been, and I mean, even worse, almost as bad. I would have been up in Toronto, and I wouldn't have even been able to go see Sloan because I would definitely have. If that show was the day before Toronto IPO started, I would have gone up there a day early just to see that show. But oh well, not going to happen. Next up, we have somebody who's been doing amazing power pop for many, many years. First in a band called Spinning Jennies, and then in the Well Wishers. And this is the Well Wishers' umpteenth album. I don't remember exactly which one. It's called Expected Outcomes. Just came out. Jeff Shelton, the main man, the mastermind of the Well Wishers, always have put out stuff very reminiscent of the Posies, Shoes, that kind of thing. And this album is no different. It's filled with really good pop songs. And the one I am going to play right now, oops, I accidentally started playing it. It's Back of the Line here on Material Issues.
To the back of the line. Baby, 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 I'm getting lost in the city.
That was Back of the Line by the Well Wishers off their brand new album, Expected Outcomes. I remember when I've known Jeff Shelton since the mid 90s. Spinning Jennies came down from San Francisco to play IPO early on. I remember telling him that I thought his sound was reminiscent of Shoes, and he didn't know who they were. But I do, he said, well, I always thought the Posies, and he mentioned a couple other bands. And I said, yeah, I can hear that too. But ever since then, when he's done press releases, he's mentioned Shoes. So I'm glad I put that in his head. And Jeff's a real champion of power pop also. If you look on Facebook, he's always posting videos of obscure power pop bands. And you can tell he's really excited about it. He and his wife actually are now touring. They're vacationing around Europe. They all over the place, showing photos, some really beautiful locations.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, good on them. Speaking of power pop, of course, has a rich history. Some of the bands that I'm playing today are not exactly power pop, but and here's one who you wouldn't expect to do a power pop song. They never really did in their history, although their main man, Nick Hayward, certainly did when he put out solo albums. And I'm talking about Haircut 100. And those of you listening may not have known that Haircut 100 is back with a brand new album called Boxing the Compass. And here it is. And these are the guys now. They've been around a while, but they're still youthful. And some of the songs on here are dancey, like you might expect Haircut 100 to be, but others are really rocking. And the opening track is one of those. It's called Come Back to Me, and we're going to play it now on Material Issues.
Sometimes I don't believe it's summer.
really cool opening track on their album Boxing the Compass. It's Haircut 100. That's right, the 80s band who had Favorite Shirts and Love Plus One and all those cool MTV tracks.
Fantastic Day. Oh, yeah.
All kinds of stuff. Come Back to Me is the name of the track. Interesting choice to open the album with. They're kind of showing that, maybe they're not all about dance music. Maybe they're about power pop now. Certainly their main man, Nick Hayward, was in much of his solo career. We had the pleasure of having Nick on as a guest a few months ago.
And what an entertaining guest. And I'll tell you what, we spent, 2 hours talking to him, and we thought we could get a half hour.
I know one of the things that we've experienced is, and he didn't say this exactly, but sometimes the guests will say, I only have 15, 30 minutes. And then we end up talking for well over an hour. I guess they don't realize how much fun the show is going to be. And then when they're into it, it's like, I'm having a good time. Let's keep going.
So, if you missed it, I'll run the banner here, materialissues.com across the bottom. Go there. That's our YouTube channel site that archives all 263 episodes that have happened. Tonight's episode of
Oops. Uh-oh. No. Not sure what's happening here. Hello?